It's not that my life isn't full of excitement all the time, every day. I just haven't had time yet. Well, just a couple weeks ago, not a couple weeks ago, this was a few days ago. A few days ago, me and my roommate were doing the dishes together. Washing the dishes, everything's good. We have, a big mountain of dishes, and we finished the dishes, and it was like, oh, now I can eat something and go to bed, and we're golden. And she unplugs the sink to let the water drain, and all of a sudden, the cabinet doors below the sink burst open, and water rushes out at us like Niagara Falls coming out from under our sink. It was terrifying. We started screaming. This water is just all of a sudden all over our feet, quickly fills up the kitchen floor, and we're like, what's going on? We start screaming for my roommate to come, and she comes, and, we calm down a little bit, and we investigate, and I see that there's not an immediate leak. Well, so we said, okay, we got to go get Nick. We got to go get our RA. We can't deal with this alone. It can't happen. So I'm mopping it up because, I have had so many problems with sinks in the history of my life. I can't even begin to tell you. Mold is a very serious problem. There was one time the lining in my dishwasher broke and it was leaking, but we didn't know. It was leaking under the kitchen floor, which also happened to be my ceiling. One night when I went to bed, I noticed a bulge in the ceiling, and I thought, that's weird. Maybe it's because my glasses aren't on, so I put my glasses on. No, there was a definite bulge. So my mom said, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll look at it tomorrow. After she moved everything out of the way, that bulge burst and water came through. And we had a mold infestation and had to replace half my ceiling and half of the kitchen floor. It's not fun. So you gotta get on these leaks when they happen. So when all that water came out, I immediately started grabbing towels and mopping up stuff and then just ordering people around like some Nazi woman. And I was like, you go do this, you go do this, go get this person, go give me this, clean this off. And it was very bossy, very bossy. But I was not going to have another mold issue. Those are not fun to deal with. So we got our RA to come up, and he was in a suit. And we're like, why are you in a suit? And he's like, oh, I was home teaching. We're like, you were in the middle of home teaching? He's like, no. I finished about a half an hour ago. But so he looked at our sink, and he said, well, I could probably fix it. He's like, but I'm not allowed to because, we live on campus. And so the housing department takes care of any maintenance that needs to be done. And so we have to ask them to come first. We can't fix it ourselves. So he called the emergency on-call number, and it was a Sunday night. So, it was the weekend and after hours, which is not a good mix for things. And someone answered, and he said, hey, I got a girl I got some girls with, a leak in their sink, and I looked at it. It's fine. It's all good. And he told us, and so they arranged for someone to come the next morning. Well, I woke up, no one had come still. I went to class, and I come back, and it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody had come to fix our sink, and the dishes were piling up, and we didn't know what we would do. So I asked my roommate, I said, hey, should we go talk to Nick about this? Nobody's still come. She's like, oh, no. We don't need to talk about Nick about it. We don't need to talk to Nick about it. And I said, well, what do you mean? Why do you seem kind of scared? Apparently, Nick had come by to see if it had been done. And when he found out it hadn't been done, he was not happy. Apparently, he was slightly terrified. Nick is a very happy person naturally, but when he found out that our sink had not been taken care of, he was not happy. So he came and said, well, someone will be coming, and left. Someone was there within the hour. So I guess someone got a phone call. I would have hated to be on the receiving end of that phone call. Well, so 2 guys come, and one of them starts working on the sink, and then he sends his buddy to go get a part. Well, his buddy's gone for maybe like an hour, and when he comes back, he walks in, he kind of looks kind of sheepish, and he looks at me and he says, I'm really, really sorry if I scared your roommate. And I was like, what? I was like, why would you scare my roommate? You haven't been here? He's like, I just tell her I'm really sorry. I really didn't mean to scare her. And then they left. And I was like, hey, did he scare one of you? And then all my roommates start laughing. And apparently, so we live on the 4th floor. Apparently, this maintenance guy, the reason why he had taken so long is because he was stuck outside our building. He couldn't get in. So he was waiting for someone from my building to get in and just kind of sneak in behind him. And my roommate was the person that he snuck in behind. And as she starts walking up, she notices this guy's following her, and she was like, oh, he's probably here visiting someone, and they get to, that's the first floor. Wasn't anyone on the first floor he was visiting, and then the second floor. Then the third floor. And then by the time they get up to the fourth floor, the final floor, she was like, oh, maybe he's visiting the boys in the apartment next to ours. And as they walk past that apartment, he doesn't go in. And she's convinced he's following her. And so she gets into our room and closes the door and turns, and my roommate's there, and she's like, guys, you can't let this guy in. There's this creepy guy. He was following me. This creepy guy was following me. And we're like, what are you talking about? And all of a sudden we hear a knock on the door, and she's like, up against the door. She's like, guys, don't open it. Don't open it. This guy. This guy was following me. We can't open the door. Well, my other roommate had already seen the maintenance guy, looks through the peephole and says, it's the maintenance guy. It's not a creeper. No creeper leapers. So, if you ever fix someone's, so then he delivered the part to the maintenance guy, to his fix-it friend. When they fixed the sink, they said, ladies, your sink is fixed. And then walked out. Just like that. It was very dramatic. So, if ever you have Niagara Falls coming out from under your sink, beware of creepy maintenance guys.